What up, world? How we doing? 35,000 subscribers, man. Hey, shout out to all y'all. That's extremely humbling. You know, when I started YouTube, it was solely because I didn't have communication with my boys that was in Texas. Me and their mom wasn't on the best terms, and I was blocked from communicating with my children. So I said, I'm about to make a YouTube channel, and at the end of every video, I said all my children's names, and I said, Daddy loves you. Well, you fast forward to 2023, my boy's been living with me the last 2 years. I have a pretty dope relationship with their mama as well as my other baby mama. I get along with my wife. So life is moved for me in ways I never imagined. But I definitely didn't imagine this channel getting 35,000 subscribers. And shout out to everybody who been reaching out to me. I know I've took a little break from making videos, and that's because YouTube is weird. And I don't know if it's like this for other creators where it'll take 10 to 12 hours to upload a video sometimes. Sometimes it'll say it takes 18 to 21 hours. Videos will say they won't have any comments, and then you'll click on them and it's actually 40, 50 comments on them. So, man, I don't know what be going on. I don't take any of this to heart. Like I said, man, I'm a really happy person. My life is cool. I'm blessed in more ways than you could even imagine, and they don't involve money. My father called me every day and tell me he loved me. I'm 34 years old. I still get to talk to my daddy every day. That's a blessing. I know when I walk in the house from work, my children gonna run to me screaming, Daddy, and give me a hug. You know, like it's the simple things that I really like to share. Before I leave work every day, I fill up my cup, my Stanley right here, with ice and freezing cold water. And when I drive home and when I get in the house, my 5-year-old, my 3-year-old, the first thing they say is, Daddy, can I have some water? The best things in life are free, and some of the dopest moments are moments that you just never. I be changing my daughter's diaper, and we have some of the most amazing little conversations during that time. And I say fatherhood is the greatest spiritual experience ever, because this world wants you not to have a strong family at all. It wants you as an individual because you're easy to control and manipulate. And shout out to all my local folks that recently found the channel. I just left the gas station on 31st in Brooklyn. If that tell you where I am in the city. But shout out to all my Grandview, Lee Summit, Raymore, where else? North KC, Glasgow, all my people around here that's, like I said, locally, man. We not as divided as they try to make it seem. And we just tired of being manipulated. But it ain't no voice of reason. Like, there's little things that I'm slowly starting to notice as I grow and share my story with the world. And I don't have no reason to lie to y'all because I'm not rich. But I've got to be around a lot of rich people. I've got to be around a lot of people that have had millions and millions of followers. I've got to sit with these politicians. I've been on the same basketball court as NBA players, and what I've learned is they just regular people. They not know better than you. Yes, directly you. Because the world teaches us to idolize other people. I was watching some of my kids yesterday, and a Subway commercial came on, and it was Steph Curry, and he was like, if the pros love it, you're going to love it. And it's like, what you got to do with me? But they trick us at a young age to look up to these people, and all these people got these same talking points. And if you don't have a close relationship with your mother or father, you're going to be unconsciously led. And like that's why I credit my daddy when he always said, don't listen to nobody on TV because they don't pay no bills in this house. And you know, I'm dummy close to my children. I make sure, you know, that I put a lot of wisdom and life motivation inside of them. Because like something I hear a lot, and it's always ladies that say this, is you need to have a life outside of your children. And it's like, I remember being a kid. We're learning 24/7. If I'm not around my children teaching them something, they learn it from somebody. As a father, I want to have the most influence over my children. And then they always say, well, what you gonna do when they become grown? It's like, whatever I want to do. My kids is grown. I'm making sure I take care of myself now because I'm prepared for that. You know, being in shape isn't about having a summer body or, you know, flexing on nobody. It's really about the longevity. And so when I become a grandpa, I can still be out there crossing over my kids, you know, my grandkids, like I be doing my kids now. You know, health is the real wealth, and we have to start thinking long term about everything. In a world that tricks us to loving instant gratification, right? Like, I'm not no better than anybody. I've just been able to step back and see what's going on, and it's all manipulation. It's all to distract you. Whether it's finding bullets from Tupac's murder or whatever little story they want to throw in your face, where attention goes, energy flows. And I've said it a lot, man. Human consciousness is rising. Humans are not falling for the okie doke like they have in the past. This isn't 2024. This isn't 2020. This isn't 2016. This is, you know, all of the look over here so I can get you real fast, man. Humans are above that, and we about to see a lot more distractions, more than ever. So, as James Allen said, man, if you would guard your body, guard your mind. I'm not here to make anybody think like me. I just want you to think. I just want you to listen to these narratives that they be putting out, and then go out and look at your everyday life, where you live, the people you talk to. Man, my little brother, liberal as hell. His whole organization is about the quote-unquote black oppression. We ain't really had a conversation in 4 or 5 years. But I know if I called him, he'd answer the phone. Just like if he called me, I answer the phone. There ain't no beef. He just kind of distanced himself from the family. But you gon' have people that you have different political views with, that like different sports teams with you. Everybody where I live don't like it. I ain't ever been a Chiefs fan. My son love the Chiefs. That don't mean we ain't cool. You know, this negativity, this friction that they teach us to unconsciously have towards people who got different opinions, that's so shallow. It's so low vibrational. In case you was wondering about the glasses, they blue light glasses. They not prescription. But you know, sitting and staring at a computer all day, man, I gotta protect my health in every way. And blue light glasses is just something I added to my nerd life. And shout out to my people who don't like the kombuchas I share. You know, like I said, health is wealth to me. I didn't always like them. It's something that I grew to start digging. Do what you do, but watch my shoes. I'm sure it's something that you like that I ain't really fond of, but we got more in common than the things that divide us. So that's all I'm gonna highlight. And that's why I say you don't have to idolize celebrities. Like, I'm gonna keep throwing that out there, because even when people say they look up to me as a speaker, like, I promise you, I want you to know what you see inside of me, on God, it's inside of you. I'm the same kid who used to be in a homeless shelter sneaking brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts in my room, because you can't take food in your room when you're in a homeless shelter. Like, I'm really the same kid who went to Pizza Hut buffet with my mom, and we had to get up and run out because we didn't have no money. The money don't make you real. You know, wherever you come from, it's all about just being truthful. You know, being a human. That's why I look at, like, you know, somebody like Drake, like, bro, you a father now. I'd love to hear an album about fatherhood. I think Cardi B and Offset could make the dopest nursery rhymes we've ever heard in our life. But they don't talk about things that's relatable. And I understand you rich, but you still human. You still got a kid. Then you have to potty train your kid. Like last night, you know, we transitioned my daughter to sleeping in her own bed, and she slept in there till, like, you know, I can't remember. It was like maybe 12:30. And then she woke up and came and laid on top of me. And I got up and tried to put her back in her bed. And then she said, "Daddy, I want you to lay with me." And I ended up falling asleep in her bed. And then creeping out of her bed, only to see my 10-year-old was going to the bathroom because he had a bloody nose. So it's like just fatherhood, man, like real scenarios. Like, we all have kids. We all had a call from our teacher, "Your son is acting up," you know? Like, it'd be dope to hear about those stories. Like, thoughts and prayers out to LeBron and what's going on with his son. Like, we got to talk about family, the things that, as much as LeBron is a billionaire and he got all them championships, on everything, I'm sure he'd trade all of it for his son to be healthy. He would let go all the money, all the fame. At least I think he would. I can't say for sure, but he seemed like he loved his children that much. And that's what confuses me about the rap culture, is that they lose a fellow rapper to a homicide or to jail, and then they go out and brag about it. It's the same as, you know, our family members, they die, and then we go to the reception, eat the same food that caused them to have the same health conditions. Until you make the unconscious conscious, you'll repeat it over and over and over and say, this is just how it's supposed to be. And you have to realize that you're being manipulated to destroy yourself. You know, I say I'm blessed and I'm privileged to grow up with my mother and my father, because no one can else tell me who I am. And I know my grandma and I know my grandpa. But if you're somebody who could come up in a broken family, then you're gonna easily hop to the next song, the next wave, because you're empty. You're trying to fill that void. And as Ye said, things we buy to cover up what's inside. My wife's friend just got her second BBL. You think she's gonna be done after that? I'm sure she's gonna have to get the lips and then the nose. And it just, the world is teaching you not to love yourself. And if you ain't got a strong connection with some humans around you that's gonna be real, I told my baby mama the other day, I said, you gotta get away from people who lie to you for your comfort. Like, you gotta be willing to be around some people that's gonna really tell you the truth so you can grow. And this world, it's really easy now to make echo chambers, to disconnect from everybody who got a different opinion, who you don't want to hear from. And that's solely unhealthy, because you know what's best for you. And if you run away from, if you've read The Art of Communication, it says everything that we consume is food. Music is good food or bad food. Entertainment, media, and a lot of people, they know what they consuming is bad because it feels good. But what's sweet in the mouth turns sour in the belly. We all have learned that. And so it's time to really, at this point in society, like I said, this is the greatest time to be alive ever. They got technology. Like I'm driving to work and I can put a video out and one person may see it or 100 million people can see it. But with having the reach like this, why would I talk about murdering somebody? Why would I talk about running down on some ops? Or I got money, cars, clothes, and hoes. You know what I mean? Like, just think about the concept that these millionaires, they got crazy reach. They can say anything to the masses of people, and they say, let's go to Pound Town. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say, as humans, our consciousness, we looking at this like, come on, bro, what are you doing? We can talk about metaphysics. We can talk about so many different things, so many different scenarios. We can share so many different ideas. And all we talk about is murdering and sex and drugs. They've been having sex since the beginning of time. That ain't really dope to talk about 24/7, 365. I value my energy a little more, and I value myself to just sleep with any and every woman. There was a point in time when Lil Wayne, Young Money, Every Girl in the World, that song was my favorite song. You used to get in the car and bump it. I like a long hair, thick red bone. There was a point when I was listening to YNW Melly every day. I'm with Sack and Juvie, so you got to bring about 3 friends. Don't flex, don't pretend. We spin the beers. And now it's like, I'd rather listen to something about God. Personally, I'd rather listen to something that's good for my soul, that's good for my heart, that's making me want to be a better father, that's making me want to be a better friend. Because, like Nipsey, I got it from Nipsey, and he said the way kids spell love is T-I-M-E. And when I'm spending time with my kids, I understand that they're going to copy my habits. How do I know that? Because I copied my father's habits. I copied my uncle's habits. My uncle Johnny, rest in peace. And this is why I say you got to stop doing dirt, because he murdered somebody. He left the city, I want to say, for 10, 15 years. Came back, thought it was sweet. Somebody popped up at his door at 6 a.m. and lit him up. But when I was in high school, he had this orange and gray old school Chevy. It had Dayton spokes on it. It was dummy clean. And he was the reason I was influenced to have cars with rims and with paint jobs and all that. So you never know who you influencing. When I have people reach out to me and say my words moved them or things like that, it's like, wow. On God, I didn't think I was going to be reaching people in Australia and in Canada and South Korea, but now that I'm really conscious of that, it's like, oh man, you really can do some damage. And that's you too. You could do some damage. So keep learning. The world becomes your library when you figure out what you want to do and where you want to go. And that's why they're going to keep throwing so many things to distract you. And you don't know a distraction is a distraction until it has completed its job distracting you. And in a world that wants you, literally, like understand this. If you have a child, or if you don't have a child, if you have a niece or a nephew, do you want them to look you up or look up your content in 25 years and all you talk about was modern women ain't this? Black America is so stupid. Like, why not be putting life into this world? Why not be speaking uplifting, motivational words? You only get one go around at this thing. Like, imagine if we went back and every time we studied Booker T. Washington, he was like, yep, just slapped another trick. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you have Booker T versus W.E. Du Bois, you know, you still got both perspectives. You got Martin and Malcolm. You got Marcus Garvey in there. You got to throw some Manning Johnson in there. Can't ever forget about Manning Johnson. You got to read Color, Communism, Common Sense. Fantastic book. But man, if we don't have people who wrote their life story, their perspectives, if all they talked about was money, cars, clothes, hoes, and flexing, and we ain't got their wisdom. And all I'm saying is I know some of these rappers that grow up in urban environments, they got some dope stories. You went from the hood to being a multimillionaire. Can you talk about that? Can you inspire kids like so they can be in your situation? And I know what the masses of people will say, well, this music is to, you know, to get their mind off of what they're going through. You can't tell me the only way to help people get their mind off what they're going through is sin. I know that's not true. Like, the masses of people, we understand in there. There was a period where I thought, all right, we need to go to the club. We need to turn up. We need to kick it. You know, who drinking, who got the lean. But at some point, the more things that give you immediate pleasure, all they do is give you pain on the back end. However, the things that give you pain in your face, going to that gym, getting out that workout out, getting up at 4 a.m., knocking out that extra sit-up, all the things that give you pain right away, it eventually give you some pleasure. It give you some peace. It give you some joy. Sitting there writing down ideas every single day. It's painful at first until you were in the flow and you just write effortlessly. Everything that looks easy started off hard. And we just don't have enough people sharing their stories of starting from the bottom. They talk about starting from the bottom, but they don't, not that we relate to, the real everyday people. And I didn't go to college, so I don't relate to the college educated. I started working when I was 14. A man named Dave had he built houses, and I used to go with him and, you know, do roofs and do siding and then I did that 14, 15, and I started working at Fritz. And then from Fritz, it was Stephen Berry's. And then from Stephen Berry's, it was Pizza Hut Call Center. And working at Pizza Hut Call Center, and just through experience in my life, I'll say women catcall 150 more times than men ever do, just from my perspective. I mean, I had a woman tell me she wanted to lick the sweat off my body. Pretty gross. Just yesterday at work, actually, there was this, I guess it's saying older disrespectful. I hope not, because I love all ladies. But this woman, she asked me how I was doing, and I said, physically, I'm here, but mentally, I'm in Hawaii or Cancun somewhere on the beach chilling. And she said, ain't that where they filmed Stella Got Her Groove Back? Never mind, my mind is going into the gutter about you. And I was just like, cuz, chill out, you know? You can't be saying stuff like that. But on the real though, man, you gotta not take everything personal, not take everything offensive, and understand we all just trying to find some type of peace in this life. And everyone's peace is different, but if I can do my part, I'm gonna try to lead you away from sin. I think we all have a role in this thing called life. God bless us all with a gift. I'm still discovering mine. I ain't fine-tuning it. That's why a lot of people tell me I should be a pastor. I don't really like the title of pastor. I actually have got a copyright strike on my channel from Bishop T.D. Jakes' ministries from a short I shared, which I think that's a good thing. That means, you know, maybe they know who I am. Maybe they like me, maybe they don't. I'm not sure. But most of the pastors I met when I was a kid was hypocrites. They said one thing and did another. And I really don't want to be that way. I ain't perfect. I'll never try to be perfect. I got baby mamas. So I just know who I used to be and where I come from and how I overcame it. And I didn't find it in the world. I found it through looking at myself. And the world distracts you with so much stuff to keep you overstimulated. And everything that is wrong with you, they got a pill for. You know, they want you over-medicated, undereducated, not thinking, not believing in yourself, not having an imagination. Man, they not want you to have an imagination. You know, that's the preview of life's coming attraction. So you got to think. And if you got to think, you might as well think dummy big. Read The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. You know, there's so many fantastic books out here. Psycho Cybernetics, I think, should be a mandatory read for every human. And who knows, my book may be something that you want to read. Your book, your cookbook, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to give out to this world, man, create your art and give it. Find time, whether it's stand up later, whatever you need to do in your life so you can find ways to just motivate, to uplift, to inspire. You know, there's somebody around you that need a little extra push. So just be the change you wish to see in this world. Once again, I'm grateful for all 35,000 on our way to 100 million, and I hope you have peace in your life. I hope you're happy. And I said in one of my videos that I wasn't sure who the enemy was, and they said it was because I really can't say it's a Democratic enemy. I think it could be some controlled opposition. Like I said, man, it could be some gatekeepers that we never imagined that got control over what's going on. All this stuff out here is weird. So I say, if you didn't come from a strong family, make sure a strong family comes from you. Make sure the people around you that they know you love them and they can confide in you, because the world wants to manipulate you, your mama, your cousin, your children. Dude, it's just wild. So be happy, be happy, be happy. Because no man is your friend, no man is your enemy. The world becomes your library. But the people who want to see you win, they'll help you win. And the people who don't, they won't. I love you all, baby. We outie. Peace.